Welcome back in, everybody, as we get ourselves into the second series of the day. This is going to be HF versus Hydra, and Hydra looking pretty clean at the minute in terms of the ability in Division 2, 4-0. They haven't even dropped a game yet, and looking to take most games, apart from one up against YNT a couple of days ago that took 60 minutes. Um, a lot of the games going fairly easy for Hydra. 30 minutes over and done with, taking games in terms of win losses, in terms of kills. They're overwhelming their opponents. So HF, they have their work cut out of them today because HF have won one game. And it was up against PuckChamp, who again not doing too bad. They are 5-4, 2-1 in terms of Series 1. So PuckChamp giving up a game to HF. So HF, there is hope. It isn't over for them just yet. And if they can win again, if they win one series, they move themselves even with X3, at least until X3 play later on today on that 1 and X scoreline. And they need all the wins they can get to at least force tiebreakers here again. HF, nobody wants to be dropping out of Division 2 and going in through open qualifiers again. And bottom of the table, that's how it's looking for HF and Cybercats at the minute. Cybercats are now 0-4 after that last series. They do have HF to play, as well as Rise, X3, and looking at the wrong teams, but yeah, X3 and Rise, because they only have 3. Yeah, so not Hydra. Already played Hydra. In fact, that was the very first game that opened us up. So yeah, they have HF, Rise, and X3. So if they can win against HF and X3, it puts the pressure on X3 though. But for the minute, it is just going to be, again, HF at the very bottom, I suppose, because they've only won one, whereas Cybercats have won two games, excuse me, not 2 series, but 2 games. So we'll see here if HF, can they at least get a game off Hydra? It look particularly strong. Just running through the lineups we've got on the side of Hydra. It is going to be Dream, Warwick, Cloud, Leffington, and Happy Doraria playing the 1-5 there. Dream, really good hero. He's been on Hydra did he drop off? Let's take a look, because he did. Yeah, he went to No Sorry Team Unique and then came back to Hydra. But he was playing on that Hydra team that was so dominant alongside V in things like the D2CL, into the DPC qualifiers, in the smaller tier 2 competitions. Them and V, Hydra and V looked absolutely unstoppable when it was that older version of Hydra. When it was the version of V that was TA2K. He's in the mid lane there, as well as Lays, Destroyed as he was called there, in that V lineup. But it has gone through a little bit of a change, maybe for the better here. You can see that they are top, absolutely cruising Division 2 at the minute. And again, how they're going to do in Division 1, it remains to be seen if they get to Division 1, because there is still 3 series. They could lose all 3 of their next series, drop down to 3rd, 4th place. YNT, PuckChamp, Rise, looking to take those top spots. And Hydra, the pressure might be on, because the teams are on the heels here. Rise 3-1, YNT 3-2 after that last series. PuckChamp close with a 2-1. So if all these teams continue to win, it could be stacking up. And it could be, again, maybe the pressure gets to Hydra. Maybe they just fumble at the last line on that final hurdle. But it looks like we are just waiting for a couple of webcams to be set up before we get ourselves into this second series of the day. And yeah, getting ourselves into it. Meanwhile, instead of HF, running through their lineup. Looking at Jani, Toshibi, Proletary, can never pronounce that right, Weebian and Zoe. So 5 players that are a little bit newer to the scene, so maybe getting their practice in, maybe just getting their first taste of proper competitive Dota. Did enough to get through the open close qualifiers to get themselves into Division 2, but just struggling a little bit that now they're here. Because you've got to look at the players in Division 2. They've been around for a while. You look at PuckChamp, Shigetsu, Youngji, Malik, Danielle, and H2O. Players that everybody recognizes in that division, that lower division, tier 2 scene. Rise, and Osric, Dodron, Blizzy, Arrow, and Black Archangel as well. Black Archangel has been around forever. Osric, he started to step up, but yeah, Arrow was another player on the V squad that looked incredibly impressive, that looked like he, on that V squad was dominating, was taking matches off higher level teams. But at the minute, He's just going to be moving himself over onto Rise. I mean, Rise aren't doing too bad. If we take a look at how they're doing, they've beat HF, which everybody has so far, X3 as well, Sigma YNT. Sigma YNT, I think I cast that game, didn't I? Maybe not. No, I think it was on the Sunday. So yeah, Hurry Freak would have been casting it. But Rise actually taking a couple of victories off in other events as well, looking really comfortable, and setting some good steps to maybe force himself through into better and further things in other events, coming in through into the next tour as well. You know, setting a good platform. They are second place, so they could be one of those teams that do move up here. 3-1, 7 victories and 3 losses in terms of games played, moving themselves through into the Division 1 in that next tour. So we'll have to keep an eye on Rise, see how they're doing as well. But for the minute, yeah, after that last series, YNT do move themselves up and technically joint second as well, even though they have lost one more series than Rise. So Rise with that extra game in hand where they could look to break away once again from YNT. Again, guys, just waiting for this lobby to start. Oh, everybody's in. It looks like it might just be cam issues, looking to get those set up before we get ourselves into this first game of the second series. So some minor delays. You've got my pretty face to look at while we get through them. Yeah, so HF, how have they been drafted? I mean, we know that HYDRA top of the table, so looking for heroes that other teams haven't been looking towards, like the IOs, like the Night Stalkers, snipers coming out for them as well. They made the Batrider work as well up against X3. So are they going to try and do that again? Up against Cybercats, Silencers, Invokers, Faceless Voids, Snapfires, and Shadow Fiends. So those kind of heroes that are in or around the meta, but aren't really the true, I don't want to say true meta heroes, but the established meta heroes that teams might look to be banning out. So you do have HYDRA that might be able to spring some surprises up against HF. HF, they need to ban pretty much, you only have so many bans to be able to do it, but you need to look to be banning everything up against HYDRA. Maybe just try and focus out Dream. Um, or maybe even Warwick. You know, just trying, if you can play around a better mid lane than Warwick, HF could be in with a chance. Toshibi, the pressure might be on. They're saying that, you know, oh, you just have to outplay Warwick. You know, just do your best. Just get yourself in there. But if they do get a good hero like the Ember Spirit that has a lot of impact in the game, they can force out a favorable matchup as well. Maybe rotate the supports into the mid lane, shut down Warwick on that mid lane, and put the pressure on them. Then HYDRA might just have to respond. You know, if they can get that tempo, if HF set the tempo, set the control, set the aggression in the lane, then HYDRA's going to have a little bit of a harder time keeping up. But it just seems like at the minute, you know, HYDRA, they are the ones setting the tempo. They're the ones that are dominating these fights. If they don't think they can win the fight, if they don't want to take the fight, they just back themselves away. They see a hero moving in, they see a hero on the side being picked off. They don't overcommit to the heroes, to the rest of the team, to look to maybe hit some sort of Saving Private Ryan syndrome where you're going one after the other, after the other, after the other, and you all just get killed off. You know, they lose that hero, but they back themselves away. They find those areas to farm out, and they look to, again, protect their lead, protect them. Even if they lose one hero, they say, okay, but we didn't lose an entire fight. We just go back to farming. We get ourselves in and around the jungles where the spaces where the opponents aren't. And we just look to build up again. And then we find our power spikes. That's when we look for again. You know, we take it on our terms. Okay, so yeah, one of the HF players is having problems with his webcam. We're just trying to get a fix for that. And hopefully we won't be too far away from starting this game. But yeah, I think yeah, so that's what I'm being told by production that we're just waiting on one more webcam. And hopefully we'll get underway shortly. Yeah, HF, how have they been playing in terms of heroes? What have they been picking up? They even got a leaner up against Rise. Damn, and Rise beat them on that. Yeah, I know. I remember that with the Spectre coming out and Rise. They took it to 46 minutes. They were able to get that leaner out, but it didn't work out for them. With the Nature's Prophet there as well. So the one time it goes through. So I wonder if HYDRA, they're confident to let that leaner through and maybe force HF to be the ones to ban it. Again, YNT, they let that leaner through and HF picked it up, but they just weren't able to get the kill. The Dawnbreaker coming out for them. So something, again, a little bit different. Weaver's being picked up. But at the minute, just not able to get the picks. Only up against PuckChamp, where they went again for the Monkey King, the Keeper of the Light, the Nature's Prophet coming out, as well as that Phoenix and the Tusk. So Just looking to see if there's any more news on the cam. Doesn't look like it. Okay, so not yet. Again, hopefully not going to be too far away. And looking at the standings for the DPC, you can see that, again, X3 down at the bottom, they do still have a series to play coming up against Sigma Y&T. So looking at that series coming through, both Y&T teams have seemed strong from what I've seen. You know, they've looked impressive from the games that I've seen. They are both, or before that last series, they were both 2-2 before today. So both keeping up pace. They do still have to play each other, I'm sure, as well, which will be on the 16th. So that will be the second series on the 16th, Y&T versus Sigma Y&T, for the true title, to see who is the better Y&T. But yeah, for now, they haven't played each other just yet. Both teams looking really strong, really aggressive in the matches that I've seen. Rise able to take the series off Sigma Y&T, though, on the 7th. So maybe Rise, I mean, they do have a game in hand over Sigma. A game in hand over, excuse me, just the normal Y&T, because Y&T have played 5, so they are 3-2. Well, Rise are 3-1. And it is going to be a little bit harder with Y&T to try and take that second spot with being a game down. Rise looking really good, having some of the potentially weaker teams to play in Cybercats, but they do still have Hydra to play here, Rise. So that could be where they fall down a little bit, with Hydra just cleaning up across the board. And I think Y&T have already played them, so that is Y&T's, one of Y&T's losses, as well as X3. X3, actually, that's her only victory up against Y&T. Came on the second day, on the 2nd. Yeah, they let the Lena through up against X3. Ended up losing that match to a Lena Marcy pick. The Marcy looked incredibly strong. And then in the third game as well, the Beastmaster came out. The Marcy was banned. The Lena was banned. Ember Spirit came out. The Slot came out for Y&T. Death Prophet as well. Tusk and a Rubik. So you're thinking those heroes best in slot, best in terms of roles, and all of a sudden X3 turn it on with the Beastmaster, the Hoodwink coming out, the Nature's Prophet, the Tiny on the clock, just able to turn the tides in 30 minutes and send Y&T down for X3's only win. Okay, we're going to be starting in a few seconds, I do believe. Looks like we are all ready to go to get ourselves into the draft. So, you know, fingers crossed. You know, everybody, fingers crossed, touching wood, crossing toes and tongs as well. If I cross my tongue, I'm not going to be able to cast, so maybe not that. But fingers crossed and touching wood that this game will be starting sometime soon. It looks like we're all ready to go. Yeah, getting into it. Good stuff. So yeah, coming into this series, Hydra, they would love this win, but HF absolutely need this win to keep themselves in competitive, you know, keep themselves looking towards getting themselves safe in Division 2.
Radiant team
so you can see that Hydra, again, comfortable. They might just give away the Lena. You know, HF have had it a couple of times, not been able to win with it, and Hydra might have a plan around it. They might go for this Marcy pick. They might be able to go for those diving heroes, something like the Spectre that gets on top of the Lena, blows the hero up before the Lena really gets going. And into the draft we go. The Bat Rider and the Death Prophet, so it's not looking good. Do they force the ban out? They do. The Centaur comes as the second ban for Hydra, so they are forcing the Lena ban here from HF. If not, they're going to be able to pick up, there's either going to be a Brood or a Tree here. It's going to be the Brood. If the Lena is the ban here from HF, Hydra go straight in for this Brood Mother.
10 seconds remaining.
So let's see. HF, are these Skirter Spiders, or is it the big fiery lady?
5 seconds remaining.
That worries them a little bit more. Let's see. Pick. So they ban out the Brood. They give over the Lena pick to Hydra. Now Hydra, do they pick this up? Are they...
Radiant team pick.
Yeah. Why do I even need to ask the question? Of course they give pick it up once the Nature's Prophet though for HF. But once it does open up, Hydra right in for this. The Clockwork available here too. It's going to be the Beastmaster first though. So up against potentially the Nature's Prophet in the safe lane with the Tree and Protector here as well. You are going to have those axes up against it. Well, you're going to have the axes to cut down the trees first and foremost against the Tree and Protector. So nowhere safe for him to roam as the Sniper Hydra. Really like the Sniper up against the Lena. I really like the Sniper up against the Lena. The extra range, you know, the damage that you do pop out with the right clicks as well. You get the disruption off, interrupting onto the Lena. You are a Skadi builder at some point as well, so you do interrupt that Satanic build-up.
10 seconds
Yeah, I do look like the Sniper pickup against the Lena.
5 seconds
But yeah, Hydra with the
remaining.
Beastmaster pickup, they are going to be able to take the trees away from the Tree Protector. And when those treants come out from the Nature's Prophet as well, you're going to be able to cut those down and cleave through them as well. So this Nature's Prophet, don't know how useful these treants are going to be in the lane.
Dire team ban.
Snapfire, another good hero again with the Scatter Blast as well as the the cookie, the Molten Cookie. Once he gets the shot out, and the Mortimer Kisses are quite nice up against the treants, but don't want to be committing an ultimate like that just for a set of treants, unless it is the big treant protector.
Dire
So
team
Hydra.
ban.
Do they ban out the Ench here as well? Keep it light, going to be taken away from HF. But yeah, they're just dealing with anything that can deal with the Beastmaster, the Beastmaster creeps. Like the Crystal Maiden. So the Crystal
10
Maiden gets the
seconds
Frostbite
remaining.
off. And it just takes care of anything that gets Helmet dominated by the
5
Beastmaster.
seconds remaining.
So, Hydra, what is their next ban? Do they take away this Enchantress? Or do they feel more than safe now that that Treant Protector has been picked up? Could still look for heroes like the Amber Spirit to be taken away. In fact, they might even go for it themselves. So looking potentially to... This Prophet can be played as a 3, but more than likely will be played as a 1. Yeah, it doesn't really see... I mean, it sees some success as a 3, but for the most part, the Nature's Prophet
Radiant
is being
team
played at that
ban.
1, finds that farm, the Gletmere into a Satanic of their own, the BKB comes out, and you look to roam with the teleportation around the map, look for the kills, and they do ban out the M's right here, Hydra. So, taking away some of the setup away that you can get to jump in, the Sleight of Fist, Searing Chains, lock down that Lina for a little bit, look for a rotation, look for the ganks, just dive yourself in with the remnants as well before the Lina has the BKB. And Hydra just not wanting to play up against that one.
Radiant team pick.
Meanwhile, HF, they take away the Pangolier.
Dire team pick.
Okay. Rubik does finally come out here as well. How do Hydra want to respond to this? What could they go for? Because they do still need to be careful now. Well, they need to be careful about the raw being stolen, but they need to be careful about spells that could potentially be stolen here. Lina, I mean, the clock is still there. Offers some good protection for the Lina. The lockdown as well, the cogs into the LSA. Yeah, Clockwork, easy choice. Doesn't surprise me one bit that that's the pickup here for Hydra. Good setup at range as well. If you can get onto the Nature's Prophet, even through the Sprout, you do have that hook shot to interrupt. You don't even need the vision. As long as the Nature's Prophet's inside there, you get a really good long-range engage.
10 seconds remaining.
And then you just keep him locked down with the Battery Assault while the Lina follows up or the Beastmaster follows up and does the damage.
Remaining.
So Hydra, what else do they want to be picking now? Mid lane wise,
Radiant team pick.
oh no, they're gonna take that Ench. So they're looking for the overwhelming force here, it looks like, from Hydra. They want to win this game in like 10 minutes. They're like, yeah, we'll take the Enchantress, we'll take the Beastmaster, and then we're just gonna run you down. And if we can't run you down, we're gonna take your buildings. If you run away, we're just going to take your buildings, run through, stomp all over you with the Enchantress and the Beastmaster here. It is going to be an absolute stampede from the side of Hydra. Put the mid lane Chen in there for, or I suppose they could put like a mid lane Lycan, if they want Wolves, they want another Helm of the Dominated creep coming through, Helm of the Overlord. Really run through the team. Whereas the Nature's Prophet, some tower push potential with the trains, but it's not really the fastest. The trains do a decent amount of damage, but you don't chunk through the towers in a matter of seconds. It does, especially if it, early on there's a defense coming out. It does take the trains a little bit to get through those towers, whereas the Enchantress and the Beastmaster might be able to get through these towers a little bit quicker. So that is your double push potential. I would like to see, and I mean, especially with the train protector being up on the other side as well, even with the living armor, the Beastmaster and Enchantress should just be able to chunk through the towers and the living armor themselves. So the Lina will be given this time and space to find the farm.
Dire team ban.
Drow Ranger.
Hey, Chef. They go for the Drow, so pause 3 Prophet. Okay. But that means you are still be coming up against the clockwork with the cogs, with the batch assault. The batch
10
assault,
seconds
I
remaining.
believe it does double damage to creeps, and I think the trains fall under that as well.
5 seconds
No, I know it does double
remaining.
damage to creeps, but I think the trains fall into that as well. So the clockwork might be able to clear these off with the batch assault. Lena with the dragon slave, as well as just the right click speed. Hook shots now onto the drow as well. Blink dives from the Beastmaster onto the Roars to the Drow Ranger. There is a lot of
Radiant
gap
team
close on the
ban.
side of Hydra as the perk gets taken away from Hydra. So what else do they need? Mid laners, mid laners, mid laners. What could it be? OD might be nice again, being able to close the gap onto the Drow, just being able to get the
Dire
Astral
team
Huff,
ban.
walk yourself up, do the damage. DK is a big tanky boy. Might not be bad. Lesh for the extra lockdown. I think something that gets up close. Maybe even something like a TA. It doesn't get run mid a lot, but you run that mid TA, you get the blink in, you get the
10
meld strikes off,
seconds
the damage
remaining.
coming through, and just being able to
5
close that gap,
seconds
blow up that
remaining.
Drow Ranger before she gets a whole load of damage off as the Tusk gets removed from HF. So yeah, again, the Snowball to close the gap onto the Drow Ranger, get the Walrus Punch for the lockdown, Ice Shards, so the Drow can't get out of the mini arena.
Radiant team ban.
As they ban out the Quap, are they going to go for the Bat here on Hydra?
Dire team pick.
Yeah, they ban out the Tiny. The Bat is still there. Again, if they make this work, they get a quick blink onto the Drow in these fights. There is a lot of jump potential on the side of Hydra to get right on top of the Drow Ranger, blow her up before she even has some real effect in the fights.
10 seconds remaining.
Nope. Nope. Bat was first ban. Never mind, HF banning out first.
5 seconds
I just saw the
remaining.
Queen of Pain ban. I was like, yeah, no, that opens up for the Bat Rider. But yeah, the Bat was the first ban. It's been a long draft. So yeah, the Bat was the first ban. So Hydra, 1 minute left to think about what do you want to be picking up here. So what is it going to be in the mid lane? Maybe with that Queen ban, they go for something a little bit more melee orientated, like a Monkey King, maybe.
Radiant team pick.
Storm Spirit.
Storm. Okay, straight in for the Storm again. Another hero that's got dive before the BKB comes out for the Drow Ranger. Get yourself on top. You've got the drag back as well with the Vortex. So a lot of dive from the side of Hydra. Once that Beastmaster gets to blink out, the
10
Clockwork with his
seconds
ultimate, Storm
remaining.
Spirit with his ultimate. Oh, it's hard for the Drow. It is hard for the
5
Drow Ranger. But
seconds
what do they want
remaining.
to play in this mid lane up against the Storm? What can they play is the question. Because there's a lot of mid bans coming out with the Ember Spirit, the Puck being taken away, the Bat, Tusk, Tiny, Pangolier, Keeper of the Light, all going into the bin. Into that draft bin. You could go... Would you want to go for a Void Spirit, though? You could go for the Invoker, maybe, up against the Storm Spirit. It's not a bad choice. Mess up the game as well, dropping your... Because that's a lot of control. I just don't know if this Lena gets the time and space to find the farm, how HF actually get on top of the Lena and do the damage. Because Train, not really a frontline hero. He does like to sit on the front lines, drop the overgrowth and then be there with a leech seed, but like a Primal Beast or something. It could be the
You
Lesh.
may now select your heroes.
Okay. I don't mind this from HF. But I think I'm going to be giving the game at least my backing over to Hydra. Just because, again, they haven't dropped the game just yet, playing up against the bottom of the table here. HF, they're going to really need to work for this win. And just the dive potential onto the Drow Ranger. If they get a good opening, because that's the thing that even the Lena could come in close. Was the Drow wants to avoid, just because the ultimate, the way the ultimate works, just wants to avoid all up close and personal engagements here. And Hydra, yeah, just looking the stronger of the two teams at the minute. So HF, it is going to be their game. They need to force this one through. They need to force a victory, where Hydra, at the minute, just look really comfortable in the DPC so far. So, again, Cloud and Leviathan with the push potential coming out from the Enchantress and the Beastmaster. I don't know. I mean, the Leshrac is going to be nice with the Pulse Nova as well as the Diabolic Key, the lightning to come out. There was a lot of cleanup potential here onto the Lesh to push back on the Hydra, push that aggression back. But Hydra can get aggressive early on. Buy the space and time for the Lina to get farmed up and put the pressure onto Zhani here on this Drow Ranger pick. So, first game of the second series, guys. But first, before we get into it, we are going to be taking a quick commercial break with our sponsors, EGB. Check it out.
Bets on esports, bets on streamers, impressive bonus system, welcome bonus up to $600, cashback, artifacts, regular promotions, daily giveaways. Try yourself as a bookmaker. Great lines. EGB.com, more than just a bookmaker.
Welcome back in. We get ourselves straight into the game. And, okay, so it looks like, well, the smoke's going to be here, but only 2 heroes on the side of Hydra moving themselves down because they do have the wild axes to throw out from Cloud. Just to already clear through these trees. I like the ward being dropped here from Lefton and the trees as well. Yeah, the axes. Does he have himself a Queln Blade as well? Yeah, just eating away at these trees. Treants are going to show, but it's going to be a 4-man. Because the Nature's Prophet still in base, it looks like. Yeah, 4-man rotation here from the side of HF. Not going to be able to get the catch out onto the Beastmaster. Didn't really have the setup to.
30 seconds.
Actually did go for the Split Earth level 1 though onto the Lesh. So they were looking for that catch. Just weren't able to find out onto the Beast or the Inch to capitalize on that. Oh, excuse me, knocking my mic away from my mouth. But yeah, the Fade Bolt, not the Telekinesis, was picked up. So it would have been a really hard setup for the Split Earth to be able to connect.
The battle begins.
So getting the game underway.
To a future of grief.
Runes are looking pretty even. Yeah, no real contest on those. You can see that Weebian moving himself up. Got those second set of tangos coming out. And yeah, just wants to be, again, offering the sustain maybe over to the Nature's Prophet, because I don't know how good a lane this Nature's Prophet's going to have.
That wasn't too bright.
Up against the clock, you know, if he does get locked down, I mean, even if he doesn't get locked down, he tries to sprout TP himself away from danger. There's still the LSA that can connect. You've got the Bash Assault that can come through. Weebian, happy to how fast is he? He's going to be able to close that gap here. No Windlace, no boots to come out for the Clockwork just yet, so he's just going to be able to walk himself on top. And he's pretty slow here on this Clockwork until that does come out. And Kamiya just looking for the farm with the LSA out. Looking to maybe get some free hits onto the Nature's Prophet. And if anyone gets cogs in this lane, this is a big deal, you know, with the amount of control that we have on the side of Hydra.
Dire's courier has been killed.
Pro has to be double. Okay, double courier kill. Lefton's going down there as well on the bottom lane, so not going to be happy with that. As you can see, the bottom lane now as well. Shani just moving himself around, trying to find these last hits. And with Lefton, Lefton's going to be able to get immediate revenge here. Oh, the couriers, they're just poor, innocent bystanders in this game, and you slaughter them like they're nothing. But they are going to be joined there. It's just a little bit of extra gold. Joey trying to disrupt on this pull, but the axes to fly through here from Cloud. Lefton, level 2 as well, so 1 point into the impetus here. And Lefton taking a lot of harass, but Zoe, it's going to come right back to him with these impetus every 4 seconds onto the tree.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
And yeah, you can see that Zoe, he's just trying to get in and disrupt this, but Cloud, he just continues to farm. At least the camp will be there, but is that a good thing? Because Cloud, he's fine with that. He's saying, yeah, okay, pull it. Top lane. They're going to be able to get the lockdown onto Pro. Does he get himself away from this when he's trying to do what he can? The cogs, though. The right clicks from Kami. He's even going to be able to eat one of his branches. Those 4 branches that started off, but on the top lane, they might even go for Happy. Happy going to get himself away from this one. He's going to be happy if he survives. And you can see the Pro, he was teasing that TP, but didn't actually go for it. So, neither team going to be able to get the kill. Happy's going to be able to walk himself right back in with the salve. Do they want to set up again? Yeah, where are those cogs? They are available if they want to go. The battery's still going onto the Nature's Prophet, but the Nature's Prophet, this time the LSA, it's going to be onto the Rubik. And Kami gets slow, doesn't want to come too far forwards because of that Fade Bolt, because of the Telekinesis, and Happy at least keeping the harass out onto the Nature's Prophet. So, you can see, I mean, Telekinesis dragged back onto Kami. Kami! Does he get himself away from this one? It's going to be... Was it the creeps? It looks like it was the creeps that got that kill. Some technically no first blood, as the creeps do pick it up. How's this mid lane going?
Radiant's
Race
top
looking for the
tower is
locks
under
in.
attack.
Warwick now as well. In terms of last hits, Storm Spirit's ahead by about 6 or 7. He's got himself a few denies there as well. And net worth wise, it's not a massive gap. It's only about 300 gold. But Warwick, he's got, I'm pretty sure, the level advantage in terms of XP over the Lesh. Actually, he's not, no. Okay, a race actually picking them up, even though there's a couple more last hits. Going the way. Ooh, the drag back now as well. So a race with the remnant being dropped. He does get that split earth off onto Warwick. Warwick going to be taking a lot of punishment here in this lane. Has an empty bottle now as well. 4 seconds until the water in spawn. So he is going to be able to refill into this now as well. Maybe a race goes for the chase down, but Warwick is just going to be able to bottle up, heal up through this. In fact, does he go for it even more? Does he go for that second water rune? No, the split earth comes out. Was that lightning? One more right click. Warwick is going to get really down low, but he does get the vacuum back now towards giving the vortex back. But the lightning, it just bounces through, and a race gets the kill.
Returns from whence it came.
So just hang around a little bit too low for a little bit too long there on Warwick. A couple of mistakes going from HYDRA. So HF able to take some early advantages from this. Meanwhile, bottom lane, how's it looking for the Drow's at the top of the net worth? Finding some last hits, finding some damage onto Cloud now as well. Cloud, he just has to go for the TP, nothing to interrupt. No, they don't have the damage either. So that's kind of the weakness of this lane, the one weakness of this lane. You have some great slows with the Leech Seed coming out, with that Nature's Grasp, with the Frost Arrows here as well, but just nothing if the TP starts to come out and you don't have the damage to get the kill. No way to interrupt that TP just yet, until the shard comes out for the Treant at least. So yeah, how many stuns do they have actually? Split Earth, Overgrowth, Telekinesis. Yeah, okay. Meanwhile, on the other side, you have the Vortex drag back in, like this, onto a race. Those remnants stacking up doing damage. Lefton's going to rotate in now as well. Did he go for the slowdown? Just one impetus shot, and a race going to be out of mana. So we'll be forced back. Those raindrops from both sides are actually being eaten through. Just because both players being able to throw out that magic damage. As how's Happy looking? He's looking for the rune. Where's it going to be? Does it spawn? No, it spawns bottom. So the chase down maybe onto Happy. Happy's just trying to do what he can. Telekinesis comes out. The drag back to get the kill. Clock. He just goes down. He is straight up dead. As Storm at least gets that regen. So, is he just looking for into the jungle? It looks like he is. Maybe just trying to get something extra before he goes back to the lane, because he's level 5, so this should be the level 6. Maybe even makes a rotation happen here. Or with this level 6, the 6. I said 6. With the regen rune going as well. Yeah, maybe looking off double bouncy runes here as well. He's going to be able to pick up. So for extra bottle charges, looking maybe for this dive in. Does he get himself on top? He's going to go onto Weaving. Yeah, it looks like that's going to be the target. No, the vacuum. Excuse me, the Vortex. He's waiting for that drop back onto Pro. Meanwhile, Weaving, he gets locked down, though. Cammy with the erase rotation in. After he's going to be able to get the kill onto the Rubik now as well. The chase down onto the Storm Spirit. Warwick has to get himself back towards that tier 1 with the zip away. Not a lot of mana left here now as well. Erase. Teasing out that split earth, but Warwick with the immediate dive away there.
Is under attack. Radiant's courier has been killed.
Happy.
Dire's structures.
He gets the kill onto Pro's courier now as well. Might actually get the lockdown onto a race. Can he get himself away from this one? Word of the cogs. But the TP comes back in. Any follow up from this now as well as Pro. He has that. He's going to be able to get right on top in the clockwork once again. Out of position. Caught out. Killed off. As Warwick. How is he looking? Getting towards the power treads, it looks like. Yeah, power treads and a wand. There's Drow going straight towards the Dragonlance. Cloud, can he get himself away again? The Nature's Grasp comes out. Cloud can try and walk himself around it now. Leech Seed, and this time, I don't think he has the TP to get himself. He doesn't. He didn't pick up a TP, so he is going to be dead. Multi-shot comes out. Backlines. Lefton's trying to do what he can, but Zhani's level 6 now. Lefton, he might go down. No untouchable here. One more right click, and the Drow gets himself. It's not a double kill. So he picked up the kill onto the Beastmaster, but 2 kills in this lane. Really nice pickup here for the side of HF, HF. They're firing on all cylinders, gaskets. What do you fire on? I don't know. But they're firing. They're firing and they're finding kills. Speaking of kills, Happy now telekinesis comes out. Happy trying to get himself away. LSA.
Make a fine humus.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Chase down. Bottom lane. Moving through. And it looks like... Oh, we have a bit of a connection timeout in the game. Are we back? Maybe we are. I mean, looking through... Yeah, we can see the erase. Oh, we are going to be bounced out. Hopefully we'll get ourselves right back into this game. I'm still in.
Dire's
So I
middle
can still
tower
radio
is
call,
under
you just won't get
attack.
anything on screen. Nothing exciting happening anyway. There is no kills. There is no ganks. There is no rotations. Don't worry about it here.
Radiant's bottom tower is
As we
under
get this
attack.
radio cast going. But yeah, it's, I mean, mid lane, we can see that erase in terms of net worth. Who is at the top? It's going to be the Nature's Prophet right at the top.
Radiant's bottom
And
tower
he's
is
having
under
a good
attack.
time here, Pro. He's already got himself towards, starting towards the Ags. Okay, we're back. Hooray! There's a race. Yeah, Warwick in the mid lane. I promise you this isn't worthy freeze up. So a race just looking to push out this lane, but the Vortex just come through here from the Storm. Runs out himself away. A lot of damage. Meanwhile, the Cogs do get dropped. Weavium. But I think that's going to be... No, he picks up the double damage here onto Warwick. Warwick, does he want to pop this immediately? Maybe get a kill onto Weavium. Maybe get a kill onto a race because of the Laguna Blade. Kami with the double kill. Jani has to get himself away from this one now as well. Just trying to use those frost arrows. But look at the damage coming through. And Kami, Warwick just needs to use that ball, get the bounce down. Meanwhile, there is going to be TP in coming through from the Nature's Prophet. They might be able to get the kill onto the Lina. Kami will go down. And in fact, the Leffy turn as well. And the Storm just says, I'm out. I'm done. You know, struggle yourself, but Nature's Prophet, yeah.
Dire's
About
middle tower is under
600
attack.
gold from completing it onto the Scepter. Having a really good time in this game at the minute, and yeah. Treant's pushing down onto the tier 1 in the mid lane. It's a lot of pressure being applied from
Dire's
HF, and this is
middle
where it
tower
looks like they're
has
stepping up the
been
game.
denied.
And HYDRA just can't compete with it in the minute. That isn't to say they won't compete with it, because they do still have the, you know, the Beastmaster that can look to push out lanes. They have the Hench as well that's going to be able to go for that semi-core build. But for the minute, everything going the way of HF. And of course, the Lina herself through... Falcon's Blade is up, going towards that Maelstrom, it looks like, and then the Boots of Travel.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Quick pause. Okay, mouse problems. Hopefully it's not like a massive one, you know, just a quick replacement of the mouse. Get ourselves going once again. How are we looking for the Drow? It looks alright. Second in terms of net worth, about 1200 gold ahead of the Lina as well. So Drow range, a really good start here for Jani. Has that Dragonlance already? Wants to go towards the Shard. The Shard is going to be really good. Just the Hypothermia stacks, which I'll read to you now. Yeah, so Frost Arrows applies Hypothermia. Increasing damage, reducing regeneration per stack, and if enemy dies with Hypothermia stacks, they burst, deals damage per stack, and slows in an area around it. So yeah, the Drow, especially because at some point the Lina will be wanting to go towards that Satanic, so you get the Drow Ranger with the Skadi, with that Hypothermia coming through, and it just takes all heals away from the Lina. So the Lina really does struggle to just maintain health in those fights. And hopefully the mouse has been sorted out and we get ourselves going momentarily. You can see the left turn. Maybe just giving it a quick... Just trying to deal with dust, something like that, inside the sensor. And in terms of objectives, you can see, looking at the map, profit. So, in every single game, Leffington has been spamming voice lines off cooldown. Like, literally, as soon as they come off cooldown, he's been spamming them out. So if it was him having mouse troubles, I've got him ignored. Apparently, production had him ignored as well. So he was maybe saying, oh yeah, we're good to go, we're good to go. And production just didn't have an idea, or like the admins just didn't have an idea of what was going on, because everyone has him muted, because he just constantly spams out these voice lines. So just a little giggle. I mean, he's having fun. He's not hurting anyone. It's just a bit annoying, isn't it? As it looks at the bottom, tier 1 will be pushed down. So this is where the Beastmaster and HYDRA start to group up, and it does start to look a little bit tricky, keeping your towers alive. And while that's going on, the top tier 1 will be pushed out by the Nature's Prophet. So they do pick that one up. Meanwhile, Ench, yeah, it is going to be that kind of semi-core build going towards the Dragonlance. But you see the Treant Protector on the top lane. What do they want to step up with this? Because there is 4 heroes grouped up. Only the Drow Ranger not here. So maybe looking for a gank. As Johnny just continues to push out this mid lane. He's trying to find the farm. There is a big wraparound that could come through though. Leffington, he has the tomato. So he could look to get the clap on if there's the dive through from the Storm Turret now as well, with the drive back from the Vortex. Only 1 point in that, as a race does get the kill on Kami. Kami really not having a good time on this Lina. And yeah, they just keep up the pressure. You can see that Leffington on the bottom lane trying to do what he can with his tomato to push out into the tier 2. While this is going on in the pro, a race, they've got the Diabolic Edict to come through. They've got Pro and his Treants and really putting pressure on. The TP comes through from Leffington. So he is going to come back to try and defend. But not setting up the Lina's still dead. And actually changing her minds. Going from those boots of travel, yeah, just saying that I need the BKB. Needs that protection because she keeps getting caught out. And with the... oh, actually, the Shrek. Yeah, because he wants the Bloodstone. So not opting for the boots of travel here on the left. I thought he might have gone straight for the boots of travel to be able to respond and help out Pro. Because Pro TP's in, drops some treants, and then all of a sudden you've got a Lash on your tail as well with the boots of travel. But for now, it is just going to be the mana boots for a race. Dive in. Do they get the kill out? He's got that regen a little bit anyway from the Voodoo Mask. And Cloud not wanting to close that gap. The TP's coming in. 4-5 heroes able to respond to this. And yeah, the backup for HF just to try and defend all of the teammates. Make sure, you know, they don't get caught out, don't get killed off. So great response. I mean, HYDRA do force some TPs out, so Kami's going to be seen by the ward though, so they know where this Lina is. If they want to TP right back in and fight out, or they can't TP in, but if they want to roam in and fight onto this Lina again going towards the BKB, but the timing is going to be a ways away. So just get that D ward out there, Kami. How's it looking for the tree? He wants to go towards the shard. Doesn't have the gold for it though, so going to be about 500 gold away. Timer 10 seconds or so, so he's gonna be fine. Just needs that gold. As soon as he has the gold, gonna be able to pick up the shard, and again, just be able to pop in and out of the trees. You get the invis form on that Nature's Guise. It is a massive pain in the ass, as well as the root. It's only a 1 second root, but it's still, if you can get a root by the tree, you'll get the full 2 seconds off, especially when you've got a Nature's Prophet as well that can make trees on demand. It does just make it a little bit harder for HYDRA, and a little bit harder how this lane's been going here as Leffington, he's looking for the overgrowth, comes out. Did he have the vision to get one more right click? So he's in the trees, he does break the vision. So Leffington, one more impetus shot, he would have got that kill onto the tree. It forces out an overgrowth there just to keep Zoe alive. And now HF, they respond in. No! The hookshot, he comes in onto 2, and they're going to be able to get the lockdown with the cogs now as well. On top of the 2 cores on the side of HF. HF, how did he fight this? He might be able to still getting the kill onto the Clockwork, but the cogs, they were stolen. They get the kill onto Cloud. Really good lockdown work, trying to do what he can on the backlines on Shani. A couple more right clicks with those remnants. He does get the return kill onto the Drow Ranger. Gets the kill onto the Rubik now as well. So 3 heroes going down. The tree will be felled. It was a good amount of harass onto the tree. A great hookshot in. But with those cogs being stolen, they just couldn't get the protection out. Again, Will that clockwork be looking towards the jetpack? Looks like it's going to be the drums, as well as the force staff, maybe. Because he's already got the fluffy hat, but he's not really gone for anything past that fluffy hat, so maybe he goes back for the force staff a little bit later on. But now it will be the drums. But, good comeback potential there from HYDRA. Protected the tier 2. Yeah, lost the Beastmaster as well as the Clockwork. Oh, they might even be losing more from this now as well. Sprout comes out, Enchantress not going to be able to get away from this. Lefton will just go down.
You merge with the impurities.
So, straight into Roche they go. A one hero advantage, and they're making the most of it. And again, with the hypothermia from the Drow Ranger, the right click damage from the Drow Ranger now as well. Rocket Flare does come in. Oh, the hookshot though, it's going to be blocked by the Rubik. They try and get themselves on top. Happy Hero is going to be in danger. The rest of his team weren't ready to engage, and that was a hookshot for what? Absolutely nothing. As Cloud continues to farm, he's got that Helm of the Overlord out now, going towards his own BKB. Yeah, I get the idea behind the disruption. Cammy looking to farm as well in the jungle, but you give him a hookshot. Not the longest cooldown in the world, will be up in the next 30 seconds or so, but it was a needless kill to give up. And yeah, that's just a free Aegis going the way of HF. Because it wasn't the fastest Roche take in the world. Maybe if they waited, said we need to respond to this. I've got my hookshot, we can go in. We could even wait for the Ench to respawn, if we just delay a little bit. But how it went, yeah, free Aegis over for the Drow. Kami continuing to look for the farm, about 500 gold away from the BKB, but Jani, net worth-wise, he's doing really good. 4 staff coming through, so it's going to be the Hurricane Pack, the Aegis now as well. Drow Ranger wants that Lincolns to stop the Vortexes, to stop the Roars.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
Even the
attack.
Enchants slowing him down, and Jani having a really good time.
Dire's top tower
Even a
is
Van
under
Brace.
attack.
That's a really good pickup for the Drow.
Top tower has fallen. Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
TPs, are they going to be coming in? No, they're going to be cancelled. So they trade off a tier 2 for a tier 2. So at least HYDRA are keeping the trades for the objectives going. And yeah, this is how they keep themselves in the game. Just applying pressure to the opposite side of the map until they hit those power spikes. Buying the space and time for the Lina to find the items, to find the farm. BKB out for Kami. What's that? Boosted travel then maybe into a Satanic. But again, Drow Ranger has that hypothermia up. It's going to really mess with the regen from the Lina.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Lincoln's next, and then I wouldn't be surprised, maybe a BKB of the Drow Ranger zone. Just for that extra protection. So you get that, if there's any jump in, your extra deadly surprises that jump on you, then you get the Lincoln's break. Gives you a second to half a second to get the BKB off. Keep yourself alive. Kami, you've got to be careful there, mate. All the heroes on the side of HF close to that. Prophet could TP in. Yeah, Beastmaster just keeping the pressure on this bottom lane. Look at this pressure in. Now with the...
Radiant's bottom tower
I
is
assume
under
the Alpha
attack.
Wolf, yeah, the Alpha Wolf is going to be the
Radiant's
Anxious.
courier has been killed. Radiant structures are
For the
fortified.
TPs, do they want to come back to defend this? Because the fortification will be wearing off shortly. Just looks like in the mid lane, Kami's going to pop that BKB. That's going to be the first BKB. No, the overgrowth! It comes out, the Goodell's going to kill onto the Lina.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
He used his first level of BKB for this. At least they're doing damage to the tier 3 on the bottom lane. But that's not what you want. And now even the Beastmaster, the LSA was taken away, so he took that. The Thunderhide chasing down onto the Rubik, but they get a kill onto Cloud. Whose split push did a lot of damage to that tier 3. Took it down to about half health. But yeah, no, it cost them the Lina's life. It cost them Cloud's life as well for that. So what can they do here with this advantage now, HF? They still have that Aegis. They have it for ages. Get it? But yeah, for at least a minute and 40 seconds as Drow just continues in towards this Lincoln Sphere. Dive with a 4-staff. Does he actually want to get onto Warwick? Warwick, if he gets off... No, he's not going to be able to get off the Gust. And Warwick actually going towards... He's got his own BKB now as well, so if he does get gusted out, You know, he's still going to be able to respond to that. He's still going to be able to get himself in and around the fights. Kai's up now as well. So the Sanj, as well as the Aghanim's to fall here for the Storm Spirit. But Cloud once again, can he get himself away from this one? Telekinesis, Split Earth. The damage is just way too much. And Erase this time will erase the Beastmaster, get that kill out. And there was nothing he could do about that. LSA, with the Rubik, that telekinesis into the LSA, it is just the perfect setup here for the Rubik to help secure these kills. And that's the second time that Cloud's had it done to it.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Mid lane, Warwick, the damage, it's going to be more than enough.
Dire's bottom tower has
There's
fallen.
Erase. How is he looking in terms of kills? 8, 1, and 7 here on the left.
Dire's middle tower is
HF,
under
where's
attack.
this been for the
Radiant's
past
top
3
tower is under
series?
attack.
They're absolutely
Dire's
taking over this
structures
game.
are fortified. Radiant's top tower has fallen.
And yeah, this was, I guess, the plan all along. Give away the Lina.
Radiant's top tower
Make it
is under
comfortable for
attack.
HYDRA, and then just get hyper aggressive. Cogs do get dropped. The wards. It's going to see Erase who's inside that Invis rune. So Kami going to be able to get himself
Radiant's
away.
top tower is under attack.
Actually going to be going towards the Silver Edge. After the BKB, after the boost of travel, so no time to come out here for Kami. It is just going to be straight to that Silver Edge. It will offer a little bit of protection if there's no gem reveal, you know, if there's no dust or ward reveal. Great setup as well. The damage that you pump out on your right clicks really does stack up there. With that, they're looking for a TP, maybe looking for a smoke
Radiant are scanning.
on the side of HYDRA. They need to get this game back in their favor. Roche is still going to be at least 2.5 minutes away. Could be for a maximum, I think, about 5. Ajani, the furthest one forwards. 3 heroes, 4 heroes grouping up to maybe get the jump out onto the Drow. They don't have the vision for this, so they do give it up in favor of where they do have the vision onto Erase. Dive in. Do they have the lockdown to get the kill onto Erase? Erase trying to get himself away, but the roar comes out. Hook shot. Maybe a little miscommunication there, but he should still get that kill. They do. But now, Nature's Wrath bounces around, gets that root out now as well. Proletary pops his BKB, the right click's coming through. Does Kami? He doesn't want to use his BKB just yet. HYDRA is going to be able to get himself away on such low health. But he does get himself out. The Gunning Blade gets thrown out now as well. But the chase is on. They get the catch up to Nature's Prophet with the drive back from the Vortex and Warwick. Meanwhile, Happy's going to be one that gets taken down, so he tries to run himself away from this one. The run, the slow down, the damage. So they get 3 heroes. They only lose the clock. That is some good pick off there from the side of HYDRA. Get themselves right back into the game. As Kami, yeah, just continues to farm away from it. You know, gets the TP back to the tier 2 tower. And it looks like the Silver Edge not going to be at least a Shadow Blade, not going to be too far off. And then just waiting, obviously, on the Crystals build, so another 2,000 gold on that. Yeah, so what's the Warwick? Does he want to go in towards that Sanj first for the extra survivability, or is it going to be... Yeah, it is going to be the Sanj. And again, recipe-wise, he's only got that left to pick up, about 200 gold away from picking it up, as the next couple of creep waves will offer it to him. 35, in fact, he probably gets it just from the passive gold. 30 gold away from it. So that is going to offer some survivability. Coming through from the Sanjio, the extra damage coming through from the Kai now as well. He has a double damage being bottled, and I don't know what he's going to be able to do with this. Where do they want to go? As you can see that everybody on the side of HF just hanging around Johnny, making sure this ground range is protected, making sure she can get a farm. She has dipped below the Lina in terms of net worth. It's going to be Silver Edge, actually. The Lincolns comes out, and then the Silver Edge is going to be the next big item for the Drow Ranger. Show map. They're looking for this wraparound. Roshan, at least a second away. How long? 47 seconds. So by the time a fight breaks out, concludes, that big man is going to be back up if a fight breaks out here and now. 38 seconds away from this now. And you can see on the map, look at how quickly they're going to group up on the side of HYDRA. They're going to look for smoke. Do they have the vision? They're going to be able to see. Oh, the smoke comes out on the side of HF now as well. So who breaks the smoke first? Lefty he's waiting. He actually breaks the smoke onto Jani. Does he have the vision to see him now as well? Jani's just in the trees. But the smoke breaks on Leffington, so they know someone's here. They are waiting, and look, the big wraparound coming from HYDRA. They're waiting for someone to show. Axes fly through. 3 heroes grouped up. Did they get the jump? Oh, backlines. It's actually going to jump. Did he get the kill onto the... No, the Rubik will go down here. Traded off for the Ench. The Ench immediately buys back. He's going to be able to TP back to the outpost. And looking, Cammy in that BKB form. But Proletary trying to do what he can on the backlines. Looking through. Cammy's going to be taking a lot of damage. LSA, though, onto the Drow Ranger. LSA will be able to stun him up. They get the kill onto the Nature's Prophet. They take down 5. They even force out a buyback. And Train not going to be able to get there in time. Now, question. They've lost Kami. Do they check the Roche Pit and go for it anyway?
Players here.
Well, they check it at least. Move themselves in. Cloud. They've got the Trolls. They've got the Alpha. The Alpha is going to be really nice actually with the Inner Beast as well from Cloud. Look at how quickly this Roche is going to go down. It is going to be, well, it's not an Aegis for the Lina. But it's the shards that come through. Do they give that over to... Who did they give that over to? It's going to be Warwick that takes it, it looks like. Or is it? Maybe pass it out. I would have passed it across to the Beastmaster, to be honest. If it was mine, yeah, he drops it, gives it over to Cloud. Cloud going to be able to pick that one up. And now we have the dive bombing Hawks. As Lefty turn. Actually looking to the BKB on the Ench. So, triple. So he wants that attack speed because he has the 0 cooldown on the Impetus at level 4. Triple Wraithband for the attack speed. You know, the Hurricane Pike stats now as well. The BKB to survive for even longer to just chunk out damage. So yeah, Lefington, is he playing the 4 or is he playing like some sort of hybrid 2? Kami's going to be seen here from Zoe. Zoe, does he want to go for the... no, he doesn't want to go for the root, for that overgrowth. Maybe goes for the right click. Kami's going to go for the BKB. Maybe knows something's wrong. Yeah, they get the reveal. Dive in, though. It looks like Ench is going to be close. Did he get into an LSA? Is going to connect the hookshot. He might be able to get the kill into the Nature's Prophet, but Kami's looking really darn low. That BKB is only going to gun. It's gone, used. Can't get my words out. As they do get the kill, though, onto the tree. That's not going to be a great trade. The Roar comes out onto a race. Can they get the kill onto the Lesh? The Lesh, he's going to be stunned up for a little bit longer. The damage, again, coming through from Leffington, but the Bloodstone's going to be popped here. Lesh chased down onto him. Now the dive in, big dive in from Warwick. He finds 2 with the help of Cloud, and now they can go even further onto Zhani. And that Aegis onto the Storm Spirit. You know, he's not got a lot of mana left, but the Force Staff comes out, whereas that Vortex actually chooses to use the Remnant to maybe get this slow onto Zhani. The Split Earth, it stuns him. He had no mana left. So he gets stunned up here, Storm Spirit just can't get in range to get the Vortex dragged back. And at least Shani will get out alive. But again, Kami's just having not a great time here. Just keeps getting caught out, killed off. Controlled through.
Radiant's bottom tower
And it seems to be Zhani getting the damage, doing a whole lot of damage every single time onto him. Storm, how far away from the Ags is he? We see that the Shrag's going to go towards the Shiva's Guard as well, so again, even more. That's why the Lena's not really gone towards that Satanic, I don't think, so far. You know, you want to opt for the extra damage. It is going to be coming out soon, but you're going to have the Shivas, you're going to have the Hypothermia. I'm assuming at some point, you know, there's going to be Skadies, maybe even for the Nature's Prophet, who at this point he wants to be looking towards. It looks like an AC into the Hex. So yeah, mid lane. Erase, Weebian. Just looking to push out this mid lane.
Winning.
Fizz bomb. Fizz bomb.
And... Oh, the regen! Did he? No! He doesn't get the grab out. He dove in for that now as well, but there's going to be the dive for the hookshot. Did he have the damage to take him down? That's still going to be Aegis. On the Storm Spirit, they get the kill onto the clock, but look at this damage being chunked out here and now into Erase. The Roar comes through now as well. They're going to be able to take down Lesh, and it is going to cost them an Aegis, but what else can they get from this? The Gust, it looks like, has he used the Storm Spirit? He hasn't used that BKB just yet. Getting 3 or 4 kills out of this. The dives around, can they get on top of Zhani? Zhani now as well, what's left in the tank here for Storm Spirit? LSA, it's not going to connect. So Zhani going to be able to walk himself away. And Warwick, yeah, he just ran out of mana to be able to dive forward and get that Vortex off. Didn't want to use the BKB there as well either. Just keeps it. He had to use it. Yeah, he's used it once.
Radiant's Radiant's middle tower is
So a
under
really good fight from Hydra to be able to get that jump in, using that rune of bait and the immediate jump from the Storm Spirit as well as the clock.
Radiant's
They're
middle
going to be able to
tower
get two
has
tier 2
fallen.
towers out of this now as well.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
And this is always the issue, even though the Lena's so far behind, the items slowly start to come out. Going to be able to rip through buildings on her own as long as there's a creep wave there to help her out. And yeah, that's Satanic. I think just waiting for the Reaver now. So Kami, 1800 gold away from picking it up. And there is going to be answers. Again, the Skadi coming out, the Hypothermia coming out, be able to slow down that lifesteal, slow down the regen for the Lena. But once you have that massive health pool, as well as the lifesteal coming through, and Hydra, if they continue to get the control off like this, I mean, once Warwick gets off that, in fact, it's flying into him now, they accept it. There it is. He's going to have so much backline control. Tome Knowledge. He's level 21, so he consumes it. It gets like a quarter of a level, if that. Yeah. 5 man? Oh, it was 4 man, 5 man smoke up coming out from the side of HF. But the 4 man coming out from Hydra. Who do they find? They find Cloud's Courier. They're going to know someone's up here. Did they want to try and make a move? Was that blink in? The blink dagger not available for the Beastmaster. Actually going for the BKB to the dive. Back lens, Warwick now as well. The roar comes out. They have the control into the 2 cores. The Guna Blade, the hook shot. Actually connects onto the Drow Ranger. The back lines. The cogs get dropped. Can they get the kill onto Erase? Erase trying to sustain as long as he can with that Bloodstone, but finally they get the kill. And so he will go down as well. Jani, they have another Vortex. They get the kill. That Drow Ranger dead for 70 seconds. It started off so well for HF, but now Hydra, they just started to take control. And we already saw the damage that was done onto this tier 3 tower from the Beastmaster about 10-15 minutes ago. They can now try to look towards that, push this bottom lane in. There's no Drow Ranger for 47 seconds, but it looks like both sides want to be pushed in here from Hydra as Kami just TPs himself to the top lane. How is Weebian looking? Not great. Just can't get out of his base while 2 heroes are dead on the side of HF. And yeah, you can see that Kami, he wants to start taking map control. He's got that Satanic up, that deadly lobster, the haunted hellish lobster. I forget what I called it. As it looks like it's going to be there. So Maelstrom's still there for the Lena. He wants to go for that Gleipnir next. And the lane starting to push him. They've been being pushed in from the very get-go here. Hydra, great at keeping this equilibrium going their way. And HF, trying to use the Nature's Prophet, who's looking to the jungle. He wants that Hex out. He's got himself the AC now, which is going to be quite nice in these fights, but I don't know what 5v5. We'll have to wait and see how beneficial it is going to be. Kami, yeah, just looking towards the Gleipnir. And doesn't surprise me, to be honest. The extra control comes out. If you get a great dive in from your Storm Spirit, who gets like a... Ooh, Leftyton, speaking about a great dive in, though, he's going to be able to get himself away from this one. Enchantress with the Aghanim Scepter. So he has that Sprawl, he can get himself out of the Sprouts. God damn. I mean, look at it. Look at the net worth. The Drow Ranger on 16k, the Enchantress on 13k. This is how far down the Drow Ranger's fallen. And I suppose at the farm the Leftyton's fine in there. He's so high in terms of net worth. And yeah, the little friends. I didn't even think about the little friends for the Ench, because you have the big stack up. You know, the dragons coming through, the boars coming through. You have the creeps being taken by the Beastmaster as well as the Enchantress, but you have the trains as well. So anytime in these fights the Proletary drops these trains, you just target a hero with your little friends, and all of a sudden those trains turn right back on their masters. Now Erase, smoke break. They're going to be able to get the dive in now as well. Erase, I don't think he has a BKB either. They're going to be able to get the jump onto the Lesh. Even that Lotus Orb, is it going to be able to keep him alive now as well? Warwick's going to be locked down, killed off 90 seconds. They don't have the Storm Spirit. The right click coming through from Kami. Kami, the Laguna Blade now as well. One more right click. Can he find the vision onto Erase? Erase trying to dodge around the backlines. He will still be picked off as Jani's going to be chased away, and they even get the kill on. They take down 3. Hook shot, is it going to be 4? Is it going to be 5? These cogs blocking the high ground now, and HF, they stand absolutely no chance to chase down the damage. The 4 staff into the base. It looks like Lefferton, he wants to kill onto Zhani, but Zhani just keeps on running. But from this, they are going to lose a tier 3 tower. They're going to lose maybe potentially a set of racks. Yeah, the Spoink and the little friends coming out here. The Enchantress having a really good time in this game.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Zhani, at least from what he got out of that, he jumps himself right back up into 3rd place in terms of net worth. So that, like, 3rd to about 7th, 8th maybe. No, yeah, about 7th. It is really tight in terms of net worth. So you get anything from it, you're jumping up and down that table. You're leapfrogging left, right, and center here, but Lefferton just using the Spoink to his ability to clear off these creep waves.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Maybe a little bit too far. Did they get the kill into the Ench? The Ench with a 4-star fire, but it doesn't matter. Zhani, he does pick up that kill. They've lost a lane of racks from this, though. A second lane opening up, and the big man is back up inside the Roche pit. So Kami, of course it's going to be a double damage rune. Of course it's going to be a double damage rune for the Lina to just march right into the pit here. Even the bottle charges coming through from Warwick for the extra mana. The Gluttony is out. He's picking up. He just wants Mango, so he wants that quick regen. And they're going to be able to get themselves right into this. How do HF respond? They're on alert. They know this is happening, but the hook shot, it comes through. They're going to be able to get dive through now into 2 heroes. Erase the cogs. It keeps them away. And look at how quickly, with that double damage rune here, Lina gets through. Who does he give the Axe Blessing to? Maybe the clock.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Maybe himself. Maybe he just keeps it. Because why not? Yeah, he's going to take the Axe Blessing as well. Using those mangoes to get the dive. He's going to dive onto the Rubik, and did he get the kill? Because he can be from Warwick, 2 heroes. Did he get the lockdown? The overgrowth, it's not going to be effective now as well. Happy Rory, look at that 4-step forward. Where's the hook going to come through? He's trying, but everybody's standing in his way. It doesn't matter. They get 2 kills out of it anyway. And what else can they do? In fact, sorry, he used the hook. It now comes off cooldown, so that is going to be available for him. Gets that Rocky Flurry. He's looking for the vision. But the second lane of racks will go down. Will it be a 3rd and final here? HYDRA, in the past 10-15 minutes, they've absolutely turned this game on its head. And HF, no recovery so far, it seems. Ooh, the diving. Kami. It's just going to be a lane of racks, and there's nothing they can do to really defend this. The hook shot comes in, they get the lockdown, they get it onto the get it onto the Drow Ranger. And at this point, it looks like HYDRA, they're looking to end this game. The damage comes through, even a race, trying to keep himself alive with the Bloodstone. It's not going to be enough. The buyback comes through from the Storm Spirit, who just wants to get himself right back into this. The Drow, though, and the Lesh buying back. Proletariat on the back lines. Do they get the kill onto the Enchantress? It looks like they're going to be able to get it out. Popping that Aegis now as well, but it will cost them the Nature's Prophet. Prophet still has that buyback with the diving from backlines. Again, the Storm Spirit gets locked down onto the Drow Ranger. Coming forward onto Zoe. Zoe, can he get himself away from this one? He's going to be locked down. Kami close to being killed off. They do get the kill onto the Lina. 3 heroes dead, 4 heroes dead. They might be able to get a full cleanup. They do. HF? There's no buybacks for 90 seconds. You could just march himself. Well, there's the clockwork, but there's no buybacks on the course for 90 seconds. The Storm Spirit's dead for 110 seconds. They are up against Megas. How far up this mid lane can they go? Can they go for tier 4s? A buyback from the Clockwork. Clockwork's just going to try and do its best to delay. Rocket Flare's coming out. Cogs on the high ground. Pushing through, but HF, they're going to make a beeline. They want to get themselves right up into this high ground here. Maybe trying to take out a lane of racks, but the Lesh, he has to hang back. Lina, 300 odd gold from being able to buy back into this game. Beastmaster, over 1,000 gold. So they want to come into this. They want to be doing what they can. Drow Ranger here wants to go towards that butterfly as well. And this could be... they're in such a comfortable position, and they overextended on the side of HYDRA. And, you know, HF played that. Buybacks are a resource. They're in the game for a reason. Your health, your buybacks, your mana, everything's a resource. Yeah, they're just going to go for tier 4s. They just want to end this. And the Clock, not going to be able to defend it on his own. You've even got the Lesh fortification will be used, trying to buy some time, but 26 seconds until that Lina's back up. Drow Ranger can just go through these towers like nobody's business. The hook shot, it comes in, trying to delay for so long. Loads up now as well, but the Clockwork, he might just go down. 15 seconds. There's a 15-second time this is Ancient. It's not going to survive for 15 seconds. This is going to be HF. GG gets called, and that is going to be game number 1. going the way of HF. They take the first game away from HYDRA. The first game they have lost in HF. They're looking on track to get themselves their first victory onto the best team in the division so far, who's sitting up 8 and well, I was going to say 8-0, 8-1 now, 4-0 in terms of series played. And goddamn, that last fight, yeah, HYDRA, they wanted to go for the end, and it cost them everything. It cost them all of the heroes with no buybacks available. They overextend, they get caught out. The Draw Ranger pick into the Lina really was the answer to get that out and get the kill onto Nkami. 10, 8, and 16 to the 13, 4, and 9. And well played by HF. They absolutely deserve that victory because they played it right. They used the buybacks. They saved the buybacks. They used the buybacks again as a resource. They got the aggression out. They got the kills. They forced them out of the base. And in the end, it was just a great pickup. The difference in net worth, Kami on 32k, Zhani on 23. So there was a 9k difference there between the two cores, between the two carries. And HF still able to pull it out of the bag. I mean, Kami, you look at it, the Boots of Travel, the Silver Edge, the Gluttony, the BKB, the Satanic, that is a fully fleshed out Lina. And that's game-winning Lina. You know, but just was not able to deal with the hypothermia coming through from the Drow Rangers. So a really good setup from the side of HF that they give that Lina away and they know exactly how to fight into it. And yes, there was a period for, the last 10 minutes of the game before that final fight where it looked like HYDRA were going to take it. And maybe if they backed themselves away again, if they played a little bit safer instead of looking for the end, they might have done. But HF just immaculately played, though. It's so well played to finish off that game number 1. And I don't know what else to say. I'm a little bit gobsmacked, really, that HF, they found the way to turn it around. Pro, get himself out the Desolator as well to get quick building picks. They just kept erasing the base. Because of the amount of AoE damage that Lesh does to make sure that tier 4s, you know, they didn't lose a base race or something like that. And HYDRA, just being those 2 buybacks down, maybe if they've had the buyback on the Lina, you know, on the Beastmaster, they could have got turned that fight, or maybe just bought time for the rest of the team to come back alive. But yeah, as soon as they started to go down, that was just, it was just too much. And guys, that is going to be game number 1. HF taking it in spectacular fashion. And we're going to be back with the second game right after this break.